All right, I'm not going to name names or anything like that because it's really not that serious, but I just wanted to show why I believe in tone and frequency stuff and what have you, because there's someone on that I've been sub to on YouTube for several years, and I think the person's heart is in the right spot. I really do. Um, but they recently came out in a video and said that tone and frequency is new age nonsense. And that's the same person who spends the majority of their time talking about Planet X while condemning just about the whole world in the name of Jesus Christ, so they say. So maybe that person isn't as aware and as awake as they think they are if they're going to say that stuff and then turn around and say that tone and frequency is new age nonsense. Okay, it's couldn't be any further from the truth. So let's just real quickly. A crystal oscillator is an electronic oscillator circuit that uses the mechanical resonance of a vibrating crystal of piezoelectric material to create an electrical signal with a precise frequency. Okay? The most common type of piezoelectric resonator used is the quartz crystal. Quartz crystals are manufactured for frequencies from a few tens of kilohertz to hundreds of megahertz. More than 2 billion crystals are manufactured annually. Most are used for consumer devices such as wristwatches, clocks, radios, computers, and cell phones. It's also in your television. In fact, LCD, all the flat screens that they pretty much made everybody upgrade to because you can't buy tube televisions anymore? LCD stands for liquid crystal display. Ain't that neat? It's all around us. And not only is it all around us, it's inside of us. The human crystal, crystalline properties of the body. The human body on this level is a linkage of oscillating solid and liquid crystals that form an overall energy pattern. Humans are liquid crystals? Question mark. Cells are liquid crystals. And hold on a second, let me get down to my favorite part here. Here you go, the National Center for Biotechnology Information, a .gov website. Calcite microcrystals in the pineal gland of the human brain. It consists of small crystals that are less than 20 micron in length and blah, 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 blah. Okay? So we are receivers just like everything that's in our house and that we use and put up to our head is. I know people who are attached, they got their cell phones are attached to their head. Okay, we are a receiver, and there is being a tone or frequency that is being directed at us. And what's really strange is that back in 1936, American Standards Association recommended that an A above middle C be tuned to 440 hertz. The standard was taken up by the International Organization for Standardization in 1955. Although not universally accepted, since then it has served as the audio frequency reference to the calibration of acoustic equipment and the tuning of pianos, violins, and other musical instruments. A440 is widely used as a concert pitch in the United Kingdom and the United States. In continental Europe, the frequency of A commonly varies between 440 and 444 hertz. See, because it got changed, because it had something to do with manipulating and controlling us. Here's why you should consider converting your music to A432 hertz instead of the 440 that it was changed to in 1936. Haven't you ever heard the whole classical music makes babies smarter? Mozart effect is what they call it. And look, this is one of the things that people can't all agree on. But I tell you what, I just showed you how, at least in the majority of the world, a big part of the world changed the tone or the frequency of music to 440 back in 1936, right? And here we are today, adults fail at 5th grade math. People were a lot smarter a long time ago. And it almost makes you wonder if all that, and that classical music wasn't even tuned to a 432. I can't get an exact answer, but I read that it was like a 235 or a 320, something like it was in the 2 or 300s that it was tuned to. So if people were a lot smarter back then, which they were, because that's why they even have that show, Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader? Because adults these days can't even answer 5th grade level questions. So I'm not going to sit here and entertain the idea that tone and frequency have no consequence on how humans react and act and their intelligence and all this kind of stuff. It's right there in front of you to see. Then they wouldn't have changed the frequency, and people's intelligence wouldn't be at such a lower caliber as it was way back in the Mozart days and all of that. So to say that tone and frequency is New Age nonsense, then you're saying that you and the computer that you're using and the TV that you're using and the cell phone that you use is just nonsense. Then get rid of all of it, because it's just New Age nonsense. It's what the whole bell, the cracked Liberty Bell, is all referencing. It's what the World Trade Center thing was a big tuning fork. They're talking about tuning two realities into one. 2 towers came down, 1 came up. It's crazy, man. Thank you to my subscribers.